Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Well, again, I'm sorry for not having uploaded a video for about a month. I can't believe it's been that long. Time just flies by. Um, but I've been engaged in other activities and that sort of thing. Real life stuff, busy at work, blah, blah, blah. All the usual excuses, but here I am, back again. Try not to do it again, but no promises. I'd like to continue Ozymandias because I really enjoy Air Elementalists. It's a real challenge. It's a real wizardly challenge. Your spells are weaker, but you have to think about them more. You have a lot more utility, but less blastability, and that's a very interesting. That's a very interesting way to be a caster, I find. I really enjoy playing them. It's a real great challenge run. Whether I'm going to stay strictly air, I'm not sure, but maybe we'll get him up to the level of these guys here. And once we get, 4 or 5 of them up to about this level, we're just going to start charging at the late game, and eventually we'll break through, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. And I haven't really played in a while, so it's good to practice again before I attempt those runs right now. So we're going to be an air elementalist, a high elf. Would like to choose another race, but really, for air elementalists, the high elf is the no-brainer choice. You've got +2 in air magic, and everything else is golden. So that's the way we're going to do it. I've seen Bounty Hunter Sax make this mistake a lot, and it's not often that I know more than he does about this game. But in this case, he usually trains air in this situation. Because he has more of a bonus to it, but this spell is about 85% conjuration, 15% air. Its conjuration will get you a lot further than training air in terms of effect of this spell and power. Air doesn't actually do too much. So if it's conjuration, train up your conjurations, and that's exactly what we're going to do until we get pretty far, because our bread and butter of this build is going to be static discharge until we get lightning bolt up, and then we'll transition into something else, or we'll stay airy, or we'll see what happens. We just have to be careful here at the beginning not to charge in on anything. I don't know why I cut up that rat, because I'm not going to need him. Let's give a shout here, get them both lined up, and use our zap ability. And there we go. This will get a little better as our zap skill is, well, it's half. And it only has 4 pips, so it's apparently less powerful than a lot of the other spells. But you know what? At 4 pips, it's pretty impressive. I'm going to shout. And a lot of times I do this run, I choose the blasting technique for this run. There's a couple ways you can go about, I'm going to pick up the spear. There's a couple ways you can go about developing this character. Basically rely on conjurations until you get lightning bolt, or, I'm going to shout, or segue, oh, miscast, damn. Line them up against the wall. We're going to go for a double zap here, and another miscast. This hobgoblin's hard to hit. Yeah, let's pick up the dagger for now. We might use the spear later. Again, what was I saying? There's 2 ways I usually like to develop an air elementalist. I'm not sure if this helps, but it looks cool. And that's go for pure conjurations. So just get the lightning bolt as quickly as possible and keep conjurations on, or to employ your utility spells a little bit. And for this run, I'm going to employ my utility spells a little bit, just because it's less blasty and more fun, more of a challenge. So I'm going to try and train this sensibly. I'd almost say you could turn this into an air elementalist tutorial, but I'm not sure. Also, I think I'll play some ambient music. That's a little bit of a change from the lute music, and we'll see what you think about that. because I've just decided I don't care about copyright strikes anymore. I just don't care. I don't plan on making any money from this. And if I did, I'd just start a new channel. I'm all about the music. Okay, we've picked ourselves up an amulet here. We could probably drop the dagger. We'll stick with the short sword and the spear in case we need it. We've got some curare needles, so we're definitely going to pick up a blowgun as soon as possible. We're almost at level 3, and that's all good. So down we go. I'm going to stick with the robe, and eventually we're going to have to train up some dodging, but not quite yet. Intelligence. We've got 2 pips there, and static discharge. This is basically, look at that. It's a very powerful spell. It has no range, but this is basically a high-level free spell. Melee range, but if you're surrounded by enemies, it'll arc between them. It also tends to damage you a little bit, but that's okay. Especially as an air mage, you want resistance to lightning as soon as possible because of that. Okay, might be time to try on these amulets. Resist corrosion, guardian spirit. Neither of these are entirely what I was looking for. We'll keep the resist corrosion on because, well, why not? I'm going to zap myself there because it's worth it to kill the adder. Now also what we want is a little more mana as soon as possible. As you can see, the zap did pretty good work on that worm. And we're going to make sure we can line them up here. And there we go, up to level 4. At about... maybe when Conjurations is at 6, I'll start to segue into some defense training. And we're also going to need some spell casting, so... actually... No, let's get Shock up to full power before we fool around with that. At least get it up to 5. Because Static Discharge is a level 3 spell, I'd be a lot more comfortable with a little more mana. And that's the great thing about being an air mage, it's almost nice to have more than one enemy after you. As long as you can back yourself into a corner. If you're out in the open, it's a little... Actually, if you're out in the open, you can use Static Discharge because that will arc between enemies. I'm going to use Static Discharge here. I don't know what happened. I think I miscast. We'll just lure him into the hallway here and double zap him. There we go. And that's why we also want swiftness, as I used Static Discharge at the end there, and they've added a nice little graphic to it as well. It never used to have any visual representation of it going off, but now it does. Now that we have the Quarterstaff of Chaos, let's drop this. Actually, the spear might come in handy. The off chance it does. Let's try on these rings. Let's try on this amulet. Clarity, first of all. Magical power, and +4 ring of protection. You can't get much better than that. So we are fairly well armed, and we have the Quarterstaff of Chaos. Well, it is a little unreliable. 90% of the time, it works out very well. 10% of the time, it heals your opponents, or it does something, it berserks them, it does something terrible. So that's just the game you have to play with the old Quarterstaff of Chaos. Take your chances, but often it works out pretty well. And we might even get a Staff of Air and train up our own staff power eventually. Conjuration's up to 5.4. Now we're going to get some spell casting and some dodging. We're not even going to worry about air for a while. Yeah, let's keep all 3 of them on. It's going to be slow gains, but not too slow. We can drop this spear now and switch it out for a trident. Now, let's get swiftness. And let's train up charms a little bit. I turned off dodging because we're going to use swiftness as a defensive measure. As I said, I wanted to do a little utility, and now that we have the quarterstaff of chaos, it's a little safer. Actually, shock is still not at full power, so we're going to have to keep conjurations on. But as you can see, shock is doing pretty good work. It's comparable to magic dart. You don't even have to really, as I just demonstrated there, I mean, that took out the worm, I think, more quickly than magic dart. You don't even have to worry about double zapping all that much, but of course, it does help. There we go. Can't do that with magic dart. Okay, now we're going to use swiftness. I'm not sure how good it's going to be. We're just going to get ahead of him so we can double zap him a few times, position him nicely. We're not using swiftness to run away. We're just using it to get into a good position so we can double zap. And that's true when you have lightning as well. So as long as you think about it, if you feel like you're entering a battle where you might be in trouble, you might want to throw on swiftness before you go into battle. I believe the power probably represents the duration of the spell. It's not very powerful yet. We'll get up to 3 charms and make it usable. And then we'll go back to our important skills. More important skills. We've got dogs all over the place, so let's see if we can line them up. We cannot, so we're going to use static discharge here. That's 1 and 2. And raise intelligence. We got 2 again, which is good. But there's nothing wrong with getting dexterity for our dodging as well. Charms is up to 2 and conjuration's up to 6. Got a little bit of poison there, but we're okay. Let's back off. Eat the ogre. And we have a falchion. We're just blasting all the orcs as they come. Okay. Things like this, I'm going to, a situation like this, Duvessa doesn't see me, the ogre does. Let's take a look back here. There's the staircase. I'm going to put on swiftness. Now they all see us. But we can make a break for it. And get in a few zaps along the way, right? Stairs are pretty far away here. Our swiftness is worn out, but we're still going to be able to make it, I think. No. No, we didn't. Static discharge. Now we're in trouble. Best thing to do is cast swiftness and hope we don't get hit. Now we make a break for it. We're far enough ahead to get some double zaps in. And take them down. We took a chance there. We took a bad hit. I'm not sure how I would have handled that a little differently, but we got away with it. Duvessa's not going to stare dance with us since Dawan's not around, so let's just see if we can wipe her out. Oh, there's Dawan. Up we go. Oh, must have had an electric short sword. Not good. Well, that didn't last long. It's only been 40. Oh, we had 2 potions of beneficial mutation. Alright, well, that happens sometimes, so let's start again. Might as well make this an extra long video. Usually I edit it out, I guess, but at around the 14-minute mark, I invested a little too much time into that. So we're just going to keep it, and learn our lessons for next time. I should have taken another staircase. I got a little cocky there. And just got to be careful and remember that our shock spell doesn't actually have any power right now. Let's arm ourselves. Might as well pick up a glowing sling. That might... Ooh, +4 hunting sling. Alright, well, we have something to shoot now, besides shock bolts. And even though we have no skill whatsoever in slinging, when it's a +4, and we do have sling bullets lying around. Oh. Dogs. We've got 6 shots, including the sling. I want to move back into the... Okay. Might have a chance now. And we made it. Okay. It's about time we got a little luck there. Okay, I'm just trying to make my way down to the sling bullets here. And now we're in a good position. Even with absolutely no skill in the sling, we have an option. And let's get yet another one with the spear. More jackals. If only I could hit them. And we've got some zap power, so let's go back to zapping. Sling. There we go. Pick up all our sling bullets and carry on. Because we start off a little weak as an air elementalist, just have to make good use of everything in the dungeon to survive. Let's get these 10 poison needles, because they will come in handy as soon as we find a blowgun. Curare would be better, but we don't have it. Level 3, we're going to raise our intelligence and static discharge again. Yes, let's get our mana back. And on we go. Oh, magic boots. If they're boots of swiftness, I'll freak out. They're not, but a +2 pair of boots is nothing to sneeze at, so we'll keep them on and pick up some more stones, and it looks like that's about it for this level. Let's leave it feeling slightly peckish. He dared to get into a sling battle with me, and he lost. Although I didn't even bother using slings. We're going to pick up this short sword in case we need it. So we're going to drop the dagger. And we're just going to keep the swing equipped. Sling. Because that's the best weapon we have at the moment. Wow, they're shifting moving pretty quickly, so she's the first decent god we've encountered. Might as well go for her. This is level 2 Sif Muna. It's pretty hard to refuse that sort of head start on piety that you can get finding an early god. By the time we hit the lair, we'll be at full piety and we'll be getting spellbooks. So Conjurations is still on. We have absolutely nothing in the way of defense. Of course, that's what killed us last time, but we need a little more before we start worrying too much about it. Always important to get some offense, and we're not going to have to worry until about level 4. I mean, level 3 orc packs are going to start showing up. But we do have static discharge right now as well. So we'll be employing that. Okay. Miscast on the double zap. We'll go for static discharge, and down he goes. Almost at 5, so let's turn on spellcasting, get a little bit of that as we raise conjurations. Our shock is more or less useful now. Looks like Robin. Robin's really the perfect enemy to fight when you're a air mage. You can just blast all his minions. And I'm looking forward to getting his nice helmet. Oh, it looks like it wasn't Robin. Just a whole pack of hobgoblins. I really like Robin. I think he's a nice, interesting, early unique. Got Jessica, Sigmund, Grinder's an early unique. Pergy sometimes shows up, not too often. I'm gonna try and use the fog to our advantage here. I can't see anything, so I can't shoot it. Try and get him too. And let's try and get them lined up for double zappings. One's coming from the south. Use our static discharge and another staircase. Grab the rocks in case we have to sling. Let's give a shout. We can see in both directions anyway, so we're okay. If anything starts coming from the north, I'll be ready for the stairs. So there we go. One more. Let's drag him up with us. We don't really have enough for a static discharge. He's not going to be able to one-hit kill us. Let's just get him in a good zap position. And down he goes. Swiftness, flight, repel missiles. Let's just continue with what we have right now. No fooling around there. We're just going to use our static discharge and... No. Please static discharge. There we go. Bit of a chance there. But we pulled it off. We're picking up an awful lot of rings here, and that's nice. Not quite as nice as the ring set we had last time, but you never know. Let's try them on. Of course, we get the cursed rings out of the way first. And now we're left looking for a remove curse scroll, which we most likely have. But it gives us an opportunity to identify our scrolls. Poison resistance is definitely good to have, and we'll remove the ring of teleportation. No fooling around there. Let's just use our non-existent skills at the sling. And what's this? I don't think I've done employed a sling as a survival tactic in early game before, but as you can see, especially if you find one that's +4 and some sling bullets, it works out quite nicely. And we've got fireball. Well, fireball is definitely a good spell. I do have a fire mage going, so I might not, since we do have ignite, you know, I don't see the value in going fire. I believe we have tornado too, and that's a spell I'd really like to get up and running, so let's just stick with air. I mean, we can branch out a little bit, of course. Doesn't have to be all air, but we'll try an air-themed mage here. There's old Ozymandias. Yeah. Need some sling bullets there, Ozzy. Is he resistant to air? Let's see. No. I'm gonna try and bounce some. He's not smart enough to do that, since he's only a ghost, and we're up to level 6. There's a number of ways you can bounce your shots. I'm not sure of them all. You can look them up on the crawl wiki. I should actually probably do that. I see that guy approaching from the south. Let's actually just take care of him. And continue to blast through these guys. And there we go. So as you can see, Shock might be a little bit of a weaker spell, but if you use it carefully, you can really wipe out a lot of enemies. I hate this guy. Don't really want to hit myself here. I'm going to use Static Discharge. Take him out. Level 5 for spellcasting. Turn it off. And go for some much needed dodging. It's about time we got some defense, because that's what killed us last time. And getting killed by a short sword is kinda unacceptable. Good old Trog sacrificial altar there with the dagger and the blood smears. I think I have over 100 sling bullets, but let's just pick up those stones just in case. He must be wearing good armor. Apparently he wasn't wearing any armor. Scimitar is a good weapon to have, and we've got good long blades, so I think we can drop these two. And we're up to level 7. Well, that's not good. That really hurts. The only way out of this is to use our Static Discharge. Hope that newt doesn't chew us up. There, good. Apparently shadow creatures are going to be taken out of the newest version. I think I mentioned that before, I'm not sure why. And there you can see my usual tactic, just shock them as they come in. If they survive long enough to get within melee range of me, I hit them with a Static Discharge, and they're generally dead after one. More sling bullets. And a whole whack of orcs. Let's see if we can zap them all. I think we have enough sling bullets to consider dropping these 142 stones. And have we found a blowgun yet? No, we haven't. We're getting to the point where we're not really that concerned about... I should get one of these utility spells, shouldn't I? I'm going to pick up Lightning Bolt. And then we can worry about the utility spells like Repel Missiles and Swiftness. And Flight, well, that's the whole thing. That's the whole book memorized right there. Right into some more shadow creatures. Let's just get out of here. I'm not sure why they haven't sprung the trap again. I guess shadow creatures can't double spring a shadow trap, which is reasonable. More gnolls. There's been a lot of gnolls in this run so far, and these ones apparently didn't see me. I'm sure they're around somewhere. There they are. Maybe they fell down the holes. This would be a good lightning bolt, but it's not quite good enough. So we'll just use our zap methods. And as you can see, it worked pretty well. That's very mana efficient killing. I wasn't too worried because of the ring of poison resistance we have. And Zap continues to do excellent work. Throw in a few static discharges there, and you're good to go. We should be okay with this Phantom. Yeah. Gonna use static discharge if he gets too close. And he's dead. Trying the cloak, gets a +2. That's something a little more concerned about. Let's take out the priest, if at all possible, first. Good. Now we've just got the... Let's get down here. I don't know what he's wearing, but he's pretty tough. I can multi-zap him here. Might as well try out the rune trident. I'm going to stick with the scimitar. I think it's a better dex weapon. Let's just check out the temple, see how it's laid out. There's some really nice ones in this version. This one isn't too picturesque, but it's nicely designed. I really don't understand why they removed some of the designs from this game, or some of the mini vaults. I mean, they've added some... This particular version seems a little lacking in interesting mini vaults. I mean, even if they're just aesthetic, I think it's always nice to leave them in. I did start a game the other day, which was quite nice. There were two chambers of... two window chambers of miasma at my starting point, and let me try this trident. Ooh, that's what I want. And a whole bunch of chunks in there, which I thought was really cute. And he's dead. All right, we've got two mutagenic chunks. Let's try one. That didn't work out. Let's double down. That did work out. Meh. What do I need strength for? And we might end up healing everything anyway. Since we're at the temple, let's just give these scrolls a read here. What does that be? F, magic mapping, enchant weapon. Let's enchant the. Let's enchant the scimitar. We might use that. If we get a brand weapon and we turn that scimitar into something good, might be worthwhile. Enchant armor doesn't really matter because whatever I enchant, I generally end up finding something better immediately almost. Let's just do the gloves. Our best weapon is probably the trident of venom at this point, so let's just keep that. And now let's hopefully get some good potions here. That's what I want, beneficial mutation. Harder to cast, but a little more powerful. Alright. Not gonna complain about that. But I won't feel too bad if that mutation gets wiped out as long as my strength debuff. I'm really not too sure what benefits strength have now. We'll keep the protection from magic on, and we're good to go. I mean, in the old version, a 5 strength would have been unacceptable for carrying capacity. Now, why do I care? Let's just get out of the way of that horrible centaur. We'll put on charms. We will put on repel missiles. And that didn't last long. It did save us though, so let's put it on again. Charge into him, poison him, and static discharge him. And at least get a bit into charm so our utilities are not useless. Ooh, that looks like a nice shield. We've got gnolls coming in on us. Let's just back off. Use our zap techniques. They're surrounding us, but they don't realize that they're playing right into my hands by doing that. You die. Alright. Hit him with the trident from far away. Kill the rats. And rest up. Repel missiles is holding strong, but we don't want to get in a missile fight with him. I'll double zap him. I think that's even a triple zap. Now we'll stand down. And since we're surrounded, we're going to employ static discharge if we can. We've got 3 left. And we made it. We didn't want to stand toe-to-toe with that frog for too long. We'll turn charms off at 3. We want dodging up to ideally 17, 18. So we better get serious about dodging. Unless we find a buckler or some other kind of defense, but yeah, don't shirk on dodging. Natasha, okay, let's turn off charms and continue with conjuration and dodging. What is conjuration at? That's 8.9. You know what? Let's put on air magic a little bit. We are an air mage. Let's get up to 5 or 6. Natasha is almost like squashing a bug at this point. Actually, she always is. As long as you don't let her run around. What's our lightning bolt at? 34? I don't think we have miscast protection, but let's sucker him in and then hit him with the more powerful static discharge. I'm going to target the the sorcerers, and if we shoot through the other orcs, that's just a bonus. All nicely lined up, and static discharge does good work with invisible creatures as well. I'm also going to pick up the short sword of venom, and it's a +2, so we'll keep that and keep the trident in case we have to reach. Might even be worth getting a point or 2 into short blades. You know what? Let's do it. Keep conjurations on, dodging. I mean, literally just a point into short blades is fine. And every time I see needles, I remember we have some, so I'm just going to search for blowgun. And there was indeed one there. Let's pick it up. And just in case I missed some curare, but we didn't. Okay, down we go. Edmund. So now that we have a blowgun, I'm going to put on throwing too, just to get a little blowgun skill. And we're hopefully going to kill Edmund here and get all of his experience goodies. He's nice and poisoned, yet he still manages somehow to live. There we go. And that's all I want for both short blades and throwing. Back to conjurations and dodging. So just those little points alone will help me quite a bit. We're gonna take a shot at him. Oh, there's a buckler. Duck around the corner. Actually, we probably should have just blowgunned him. There he is. Get him nice and poisoned. Oh, there you are. Static discharge. Down he goes. Increase intelligence. We got another 2. We'll eat him, just for revenge. And how dare these jackals get in the way of our buckler. Got the buckler, and now we've also got a staff. So let's try out the staff. Yeah, I always find staffs of energy when I go with Sifmuna, and I don't really need them, except for the hunger. So let's go back to the short sword. If I'd gone with Vehement, that would have been an awesome find, but I didn't. And for good reason. I found Sifmuna so early that's... Look at the piety we have now. We're 3 pips. Oh, there's Joseph. I don't like the looks of this. We do have swiftness, so we can kind of get away. I think this might be a good time for a potion of lignification. Let's see what we can do here. Gonna get Joseph nice and poisoned. Help? Maybe it wasn't a good idea. Invisibility is certainly what we're going to opt for. Can we quaff heal wounds? I don't think we can when we're lignified. We might be okay. I really don't like that bat there. Joseph's dead. That's a good sign. They just keep coming. And I'm going to try blasting with the random effects, I guess. I really want that guy dead. What else can I hit him with? Blowgun. Let's get him poisoned. We'll go back to the short sword. And we're back in corporeal form here. Hippogriff is pretty fast. We're out of mana. Let's just heal wounds. I don't think I had to, but better safe than sorry. Okay, that was probably a bit of a risk. I didn't really know what was in this courtyard, but it paid off. Barely. Lightning bolt isn't getting that much better that quicker. Hopefully that'll change in the lair. I want that castable, and we are training air magic, I think. Or not. Let's train it. Let's just cool off on dodging a little bit, and I just want to see. It's at 26. I want to get lightning bolt down to something reasonable, something castable. Oh, you know what we have to train is bucklers, or shields. So let's put that on too. Unfortunately, we have to train 3 skills again. But that will certainly be worth it. 26, let's put on the buckler and see what happens. 34, but that's going to decay rapidly. Did we find the lair? No. As long as we get 1 or 2 points in bucklers, that should pretty much disappear. In shield skill, that penalty is hardly anything if you're only wearing a robe. Yeah, let's blowgun time. Short sword time, charge in. He's dead. We are shockingly shy of, well, we've got remove curse, but identify potion as scrolls. I don't know how many runs I've done where identify scrolls have been a problem. Because really, usually they are not. I do have remove curse though, so it'll be worth trying out some of these rings I'm picking up. And I just want to stress that even putting 1 point into a weapon that you use rarely, like the short blade or the blowgun, really pays off. It's not a big deal to put 1 point into something, and I'd even go so far as to say 4 points or 5 points if you're really using them, because that can be done, especially at high levels, so quickly. These guys are actually not to be trifled with. But I want the experience. Lightning bolt's down at 22. You know the best way to do this? Just like that. Die. 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 I don't care if I'm starving, there's plenty of fruit here to eat. How did you not die? We will make sure you die this time. Come on. A 1 in 4 chance to cast that and it never casts. Okay, good. I love forest fires. Okay. Thanks, Drog. Or, Fetus. Just make sure to hit them all with every shot. Double zap when you can. Huh. I almost thought it was a bow temple. Because all the orcs in there. Who's here? It is the Shining One. And I have never tried any of the good gods. I've tried the healer god a couple times. Can't make sense of it at all, but when we start the new series, the Pantheon, we're going to have to figure things out. So I'll be reading the wiki to brush up, I suppose. Another Book of the Sky. Well, let's just pick it up for some reason. Yeah, I didn't really want to face you. I don't know where you came from. You seem a little dangerous for this level of the dungeon, but thank God Lightning Bolt is kind of up and running now. Repel missiles, please. And we're really out of mana. Invisibility. Let's get out of here. We're not invisible anymore. But he's dead. Let's get out of here. Out, out, out. Eat all of our beef jerkies. Okay. Shields is up to 4. Lightning Bolt is almost castable, and wow, that really came at the right time. For some reason I don't have my Ring of Poison resistance on. Ring of Intelligence is good. Protection from Magic is good. Poison resistance, probably better at this point. Okay. Let's get shields up to level 5. That kind of saved me there. Having good shields and blocking those arrow shots. I like to drag one of you guys up, but let's see if we can kill you. There we go. Shouldn't be a problem, Mr. Black Bear. Nor you, Mr. Ogre. As you can see, I'm still using shock too, with good effect. You have to be stabbed to death. Oh, we got a mutagenic chunk. Let's eat it. Let's eat it. What the hell? Ooh, a nasty taste in our mouth. Spit poison. Okay, good. It's on an odd key, but there we go. I don't often take chances with mutagenic chunks, but sometimes it's just fun to do that. And we have a hat, and that gives us a full set of armor. I was hoping for a potion of cure mutation in there. Not that I'm not pleased with my mutations, I am. Resistant to electricity. And it also shoots... Let's see if we can polymorph this guy. And also stone arrows. Yeah, let's try polymorph. Okay. Yeah, that didn't work. He's also resistant to poison, I think. Immune to poison. Yeah, great. So basically I can't touch him with anything. Let's try a random effects. That did nothing. Let's might. Let's lignify. Ooh. Didn't want that to happen. Well, this isn't turning out well. Right as we lignified, unfortunately, we took a lot of damage. And we got killed with a morning star. And so ends our attempt to resurrect Ozymandias. Trying to make good use of those lignification potions. I probably should have just left them alone. I could have used the sling. Probably should have used the sling. Forgot I had it. At least we could have fired back something that damaged him. A little bit. And the shield was a +2. Anything else in here that was interesting? Not really. Okay, we're gonna try again, I suppose, but that was a good run for tonight, and that's about it. I'm gonna go to bed after I render this video and upload it. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you shortly. I'll try not to leave a big gap between videos again. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.